Hi everybody, here for the 52-week memory verse challenge. Erin Taylor Young. You can find me at erintayloryoung.com. You can find all our verses. You can find, let's see, stuff about me. Oh, hi, nice to have you guys join. You can catch these at catch.me/ErinTYoung. I am, let's see, an author, speaker, teacher, fiction and nonfiction, and I do a podcast. That's enough about me. You can find the podcast at writefromthedeep.com or on iTunes or Stitcher. It's WRITE. So, we are talking about our 52-week memory verse challenge. And let me flip around. That's the verse. What we're doing is trying to get God's word into our hearts. And this is April, so we've been talking about a little bit different focus every week, or every month, actually. So in January, we talked about something to believe, then something to pray, and then something to change the way we think. And now we're on something to change your behavior, because if it never gets to that, if you pull these scriptures into your mind, but they never go into like your heart so deep enough that it changes your behavior outward, we're kind of basically wasting our time. So I thought that this would be a good week to focus on this. Let me flip this around again. This is from Exodus, and I just really want to focus on this stuff in bold. Who is the Lord that I should obey him? So I guess I should tell you the story. The Israelites are in Egypt. They're enslaved, and God has told Moses to go to Pharaoh and visit with Pharaoh and demand, ask whatever, that Pharaoh would let, hundreds of thousands of slaves just go free. And Pharaoh is the most powerful guy in the nation, basically, the most powerful guy probably in the world at that time. And so here's Moses. By the way, God says, let my people go. And Pharaoh has a great response. I mean, it's not a godly response, but it's an understandable response. Pharaoh says, who is the Lord that I should obey him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go. What I like focuses in on something for all of us. Who is the Lord that we should obey him? And I want us to change our behavior about this. I want us to know and seek and search and desire to know who is the Lord and why we should obey him. I'm going to tell you a story. So my dad he's married, he's got a good job, he's got these 3 little girls. I have 2 sisters. We were all real close in age, and we were like little. And he's working for this company, and this is back when they were still doing the draft. There was like no war going on at the time, but they were still drafting people. And my dad gets drafted to go into the army, and he's like, oh, crud, this is a bad time for me to be drafted. I got this job, I got these kids, and, he did not want to be in the army anyway. All his brothers had been in the Navy. He's like, I'm going to see if maybe I can get in the Navy somehow instead. And it turns out that he was telling his boss this, and his boss is like, oh, well, there's this admiral who's connected with our company. I bet he could do something for you, maybe even get you into the reserves so that you can still work for us, because we don't want to lose you. So he calls the admiral. My dad's like, oh, okay. And his boss is like, okay, I know you have to show up for your physical in 3 days, but just, hang tight. I'm going to see what I can do. I'll call the admiral. So he does this. And the next thing that my dad knows is his boss is like, okay, go to such and such place for your physical for the Navy at such and such time, be there. and you can get into the reserves and it'll all be good. And my dad's like, okay, I got nothing. So he shows up at this place, this place where they're doing the physicals, and he walks in and the people are like, who are you? And he's like, and he gives his name, and they're like, yeah, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I'm supposed to be here for a physical. They're like, I don't have you on your list. And the clerk is like, what are you just showing up? Who are you? And then this other guy comes up and he goes, no, the admiral sent him. It's okay. And the clerk is like a totally different story. He's like, oh, okay, Mr. Taylor, just wait right there. I'll go and let the doctor know you're here. So he goes around, and like there's basically a curtain, my dad can hear everything going on. And the clerk goes around, he's like, okay, so this guy Taylor is here for your for physical, and the doctor's like, what? I don't do physicals today. It's lunchtime and I don't even do physicals. You tell him. And then the clerk is like, the admiral sent him. And the doctor's like, send him right in. Big difference, right? So my dad goes in and he gets the physical and he's done. I mean, he's in, okay? Because the Admiral made a call. The Admiral was somebody. The Admiral was totally somebody. And there's a big difference between how my dad was treated and how the Admiral was treated. Who is the Admiral? It's like, who is God? Who is God, and how should we be treating him? Are we treating him like, just nobody? Or do we know him well enough to treat him like the God, the sovereign holy person that he is? So I think that I'm really hoping that we can focus this week changing our behavior based on who is God. So ask yourself this question again and again and meditate on this week. Who is the Lord that I should obey him? Let me flip this around. And do this with me again. We're just going to do this part in bold. Who is the Lord that I should obey him? Think on that, you guys, and have a great week. Talk to you later.